Welcome back, everybody. You have emailed about this since yesterday. We promised it yesterday. We got cut off because of that mess on Capitol Hill. But it could be the world's most powerful natural weapon of mass destruction. Yellowstone National Park, we know it's beautiful. It's also home to one of the world's few supervolcanoes. If it erupts, scientists say it would be more powerful than 60 million atom bombs. It could wipe out up to 60% of human life on Earth. Oh, it gets better, including the entire U.S. continental United States. Here's the catch, though. There have been 500 small earthquakes in Yellowstone since the 26th of December. A signal possibly of a bigger, more devastating explosion maybe to come. Dr. Michael Rampino, volcanologist from New York University. Nice to see you, Doctor. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
What do you see in all these little small earthquakes we've been noting since the day after Christmas?
Well, it certainly made us all sit up and take notice that something's going on in Yellowstone. It's known as a restless volcano. And people don't realize when they go to Yellowstone National Park that they're sitting inside the cauldron, the crater of a big supervolcano that's erupted a number of times in the past. Eruptions that are massive, hundreds to thousands of times the size of the Mount St. Helens eruptions of 1980.
Wow, not to age ourselves here, but what happened in Yellowstone 600,000 years ago?
Well, the whole park would have been, area would have been devastated. There were eruption magma coming out of the volcano, ash being blasted up into the atmosphere, devastation out to tens of miles or more from the volcano itself, and hundreds of miles of ash fallout, a blizzard of volcanic ash falling out over the central United States, the breadbasket of the United States. So you might expect that agriculture, if this thing happens again, that agriculture in the United States would be in serious trouble.
Now, Doctor, is this realistic? Are we just scaring people out there? I mean, because people are writing in, they're thinking we're talking about Armageddon here.
Well, the probability of it happening in any particular year is very small, but we know it's happened in the past, and Yellowstone tends to go off in these large supervolcanic eruptions. And they've gone off about once every 600,000 years. The last one was 600,000 years ago. So we may be seeing a magma chamber that's doing things in preparation for a large eruption, or we may be seeing the presagings of a small eruption, or we may be just seeing a restless magma chamber where some things are moving around and then things will go back to normal again, and we won't have an eruption for 1,000 years.
All the earthquakes, the small ones we talked about, interesting over the last 2 weeks, but been out to Yellowstone. Have you been there?
Yes, I have.
You know Old Faithful, right? Old Faithful goes off, what, every hour, every 90 minutes, whatever it is. But Old Faithful is not so reliable anymore because the amount of steam that builds up under the earth builds up to a certain level, then off goes the geyser. Right. But apparently the Old Faithful is not more reliable anymore because there's less steam filling up this area, which means she doesn't go off at the same time every day. Now, is that a suggestion that what's happening below the Earth's surface is actually not building up as much as many would think? And perhaps there's, well, maybe the pressure underneath the Earth is subsiding now.
Well, we look for any changes, and it may be, we see the ground bulging up, we see the geysers going off at different times, we see earthquakes below the volcano. All these may indicate a lessening of the stress on the volcano, or it may indicate that the stress inside the volcano is getting greater. We really don't know enough about the precursors of a large volcanic eruption to make any kind of a reasonable prediction about what might happen at Yellowstone.
Hey, Doctor, I've got a little bit of time left. Here are the Yellowstone quakes that are on the screen now. Is this the kind of thing that keeps you up at night?
It doesn't keep me up at night, but it certainly keeps me thinking about the possibility of a major disaster coming, sort of hitting us from left field. We're not prepared for this kind of global environmental effects that would have on the climate, for example, where the ash in the atmosphere would cut out some of the sunlight and make summer seem like winter. That would affect global agriculture and the global economic and cultural problems in the world.
Well, you know your stuff, and I hope we're around for 600,000 more years, Doctor.
I hope
Thank
so.
you for coming in today. Mark Rampino from NYU.